Using swords, spears, rifles, and grenades to blast and slice enemies to oblivion is fun and all, but sometimes you just want to get weird and use stupidly ridiculous things as weapons. Thankfully, there's no shortage of games out there that let you do just that, and here we're going to take a look at 14 such examples that stand out the most. Before we go ahead, please consider subscribing to our channel. We upload new videos every single day, and your support really helps us out. With that out of the way, let's start. Ratchet & Clank series. Bizarre gadgets are and always have been the unique selling proposition of the Ratchet & Clank series. And over the course of nearly 2 decades, Insomniac's action platformer series has given us some truly ridiculous weapons. From turning enemies into plants with the Topiary Sprinkler, to turning them into sheep with the Sheepinator, from turning them into 2-dimensional pixelated beings with the Pixelizer, to forcing them to stop what they're doing and randomly dance with the Groovatron. The Ratchet & Clank games have kept coming up with wacky ideas for weapons, and long may it continue. Hitman series. Thanks to the emergent sandbox style of the Hitman games, particularly the World of Assassination trilogy, essentially anything and everything you can get your hands on in those games can be used as a weapon. Want to dress up as a giant pink mascot and kill your targets by pushing them into a hole? Well, you totally can. Want to feed one of your targets to a hungry hippo? Of course you can do that. Or maybe you'd just like to kill a target who's about to undergo a heart transplant surgery by destroying his replacement heart. Well, easy peasy. If you can think it, you can do it. Prey, glue gun. The glue gun in Prey is probably one of the most versatile and ingenious weapons you'll ever use in a game. We've spoken countless times about the brilliance of this weapon here at Gaming Bolt, but seriously, it cannot be praised enough. Not only does it let you freeze enemies in big globs of glue, you can also use it to create paths made of glue to inaccessible areas, which opens up the game in some truly surprising ways. The glue gun exemplifies Arkane's brand of systemic gameplay more than anything else they've ever done. Gears of War, Cluckshot. The Gears of War games are famous for having some of the best, coolest looking, most brutal weapons in any shooter out there. And while weapons like the Retro Lancer and the Hammer of Dawn are, of course, iconic, there are a few others that are memorable for entirely different reasons. There's the Cluckshot, for instance, which might look like a regular boom shot, but it actually fires exploding chickens. No, really, it fires exploding chickens and it is awesome. Dead Rising series. The Dead Rising franchise never shied away from bonkers weapons, and really, there is an embarrassment of riches of weird weapons in these games. There's the laser sword in Dead Rising 4, in case you ever wanted to slice and dice zombies as a Sith Lord. There's the giant killing machine teddy bear known as Freedom Bear in Dead Rising 3. There's the mother of all vacuum cleaners called the Suckmaster 3000 in Dead Rising 4. Or even Dead Rising 2's Heliblade, which is essentially just a machete bolted on top of a toy RC helicopter. Borderlands 3. Borderlands is one of the very few looter-shooter franchises out there that doesn't just throw vast quantities of indistinguishable guns at players, but actually has fun with the wide pool of weapons by throwing in some pretty bizarre ones. Borderlands 3 takes this to gleefully ridiculous extremes. For instance, it has a gun that shoots guns. There's also the Port of Prison, which fires radioactive crap. Seriously, actual crap. Or the Gettelberger, which fires, well, explosive burgers. Battlefield 1. You wouldn't expect to see a gritty, grounded, authentic World War I shooter like Battlefield 1 on a list such as this one. But while the game is mostly focused on delivering a grim and serious experience, DICE did take a couple of opportunities here and there to do some fun stuff. The Colibri, for instance, is an adorable, tiny handgun, so tiny that you could easily gobble it up in your fist. Seeing it being used in first-person view never gets old. The fact that it's an actual gun that really exists makes its inclusion in the game even better. Mario Kart series. This one is kind of an obvious choice. Mario Kart is the poster child of games that let you use weird weapons. You can make enemies trip with banana peels. You can hit them with projectiles that are actually turtle shells. You can turn into a cannon and blast through everyone ahead of you. You can summon squids that will squirt ink on all of your foes. And of course, you can send out a blue shell that will hone in on whoever is in the lead and nuke them to hell and back. About half of the enjoyment in Mario Kart games comes from these ridiculous weapons and items. Half-Life series. The Half-Life games have always been quite unique from other first-person shooters in how they put so much emphasis on physics, even when it comes to combat. And some of the series' best weapons leverage that constantly. The gravity gun in Half-Life 2 was an ingenious tool that flipped the very concept of first-person shooter combat on its head. And the gravity gloves in Alyx went even further and enabled some excellent puzzles and combat design in the VR-exclusive title. Kingdom Hearts Keyblade. Basically every single thing Kingdom Hearts has ever done has been weird as hell, so it makes sense that the thing associated with the series most often, and no, not Mickey Mouse, is just as bizarre. We are, of course, talking about the Keyblade, which might just be one of the strangest weapons ever in a video game. It's just a giant key. How the hell is that being used to slash at enemies? Portal. Technically, the portal gun in Portal and the propulsion gun in Portal 2 aren't weapons, and that you don't use them to shoot at enemies as much as you do to solve puzzles. Even so, they can every now and then be used as weapons, which makes them just about the weirdest weapons of all time in any video game. The fact that you can use the portal gun to shoot Wheatley into the surface of the moon should really tell you all you need to know about how effective it can be used as a weapon.
Space!
Saints Row series. Saints Row as a series just got progressively more over the top with each successive entry, and that was something that was reflected in its gleefully ridiculous weapons as well. The Manapult is a cannon mounted on top of a truck that shoots out people. The Septic Spray sprays people with actual poop. The Apoca Fist lets you completely pulverize enemies with a single punch. The Dubstep Gun turns everyone around you into dancing maniacs. That's barely even scratching the surface. Perfect Dark Zero. Laptop Gun. The laptop gun in Perfect Dark is probably one of the more ordinary weapons out of all of the ones that we've spoken about in this list. I should tell you something about all the other weapons. But it's just such a great tool for any spy's arsenal, in a cartoonishly over-the-top way, of course. While it's really just a regular weapon when you get down to using it, it actually doubles as a laptop when it's in Sentry mode, making it seem way more innocent than it really is. Kid Icarus Uprising. Skyscraper Club. The Skyscraper Club needs no description. Not because it's an iconic weapon or anything, but because it's a perfectly descriptive name for what it is. It's a massive club that looks like a skyscraper. That's it. That's literally all there is to it. When you look at the Skyscraper Club, two questions immediately pop into your mind. The first is, who the heck came up with this? And the second, of course, is why? So, what are your thoughts on this? Go ahead and share them in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon to get new video updates. We upload every day and would really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.